Yo, 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 what is up? What is up? What is up? What the hell happened to this? This is gone. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what happened. I guess I have to do this again. Sorry, guys. Give me like a quick minute here. It's been a long day today. I tried to stream earlier today, and unfortunately, my internet was not. I paid my internet bill today, and then I don't know what happened. I mean, that's not the reason why, but for some reason, like it happened on the same day I usually pay my internet bill, which is kind of weird. And it just, I don't know. This internet was not working for hours today, so I guess I had to wait, do a hard reset later on, and then finally it fucking worked. But here we are, day 5 of free agency. And by the way, I have landlords upstairs doing things, so I don't know. It shouldn't crush the stream too much. So I'm hoping nothing happens. Today's just been a shitty day, so forth. So a lot to talk about. Obviously, going into we're here. Like next week is pretty much the week, man. We get into free agency. We get into the tampering period on the 11th. The Eagles were rewarded their comp picks today, so that's official as of right now. So just to go over that to make sure nobody's confused on the comp picks. So Eagles get the 3rd round pick at 97, 2 fifths number 170 and 171, and a 6 number 210. So 2 second rounders. You get the 3rd rounder from the Javon Hargrave. Javon Hargrave walking, and yeah. And you get a 6th round pick. You get a 2 5th round picks. So you got 4 5th round picks. I think we've already talked about this a million times. So it's going to be kind of crazy. Want to welcome everybody to the stream. What's going on? MJ, Ken, Sydney family, Robert. We got Chris. What's going on? Troy, Webfoot. What's going on, man? I hope everybody is doing good today. Chris says defense, same D-line with better defense corner Queen, Edgar and Cooper, Dean, Slade, Kool-Aid, Ringo, Rogers, McKinney, Sidney Brown, and Blankenship. So adding Edgar and Cooper to the mix. You think we signed Patrick Queen to a big extension. I think that's one of the bigger moves I don't think we're going to do. I don't think we're going to sign Patrick Queen. I think you're going to get one of those 2 Miami linebackers to big money. I think Andrew Van Ginkel is definitely up there on the list. So now it's funny because everybody on all these news networks now that are online are talking about Saquon going to the Eagles. How serious can it be? How much better would the Eagles be with Saquon in the backfield in this Kellen Moore-esque type system? You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. PD Tad, what's going on, man? It says, Joey, I really want Saquon now. It's crazy, dude. Like, I think people realize that this is obviously more realistic than we ever thought it was going to be. I thought this was really just a pipe dream at the end of the day, but I think everybody in the world, in the NFL world, really wants to see what Saquon Barkley can do behind an offensive line like this going forward. You know what I mean? So, I think it's everything you want in a running back as of right now with Saquon Barkley. Can run between the tackles on the perimeter really well. He could do everything. Get him into the passing game. What will he look like with a good offensive line in front of him with dominant wide receivers? Did you see Tiki Barber almost have a fucking mental breakdown today? Like, literally, he almost had a mental breakdown. He's like, if Saquon goes to he's got to be still respected in New York. If you still want to be respected as a New York Giant and respected in this city, if you go to the Eagles, all of that will be gone. Like, he went on this whole fucking rant. Tiki Barber is acting like the Giants and Saquon Barkley, they won like 3 Super Bowls with Daniel Jones or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's there. I I think Saquon Barkley will say his goodbyes wherever he goes, because I know like the Chargers have been rumored. I know the Texans have been highly rumored as of right now when it comes to Saquon Barkley going there. So I mean, at this point, like it's just let the guy just get, you know, he's done nothing. You know, Barkley's had like 1,000 yard season and he's been hurt. You know, and he's been, you know, you have no protection. You have nothing. That's why you don't draft running backs top 10. You don't do it, man. You don't do it. Because this is where you're going to be. You know what I mean? I think Saquon has been patient enough, you know. Like he's acting like Tiki Barber's acting like he's like won like 3 Super Bowls. Like, don't go to the Eagles. It's going to ruin everything you've done in New York. Like, what the fuck has Saquon done in New York? What have the Giants, what has John Mara, the owner, has even done to get that team better? They changed the coaching. They still don't even, I think they have a good coaching staff right now. The problem is that they're just not go-getters. They don't sign good talent. You know, they don't sign good talent, or they, you know, I think Hyatt is one of their best receivers. They just don't use him enough. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Tuco says, "Sup, Joey? Appreciate all the work. Appreciate it so much, man." We got what for the super chat? What's going on, dude? He says, starting super chat wants Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, young stud at free safety. Yeah, I mean, look. Unfortunately, and it's not really unfortunately, I think they might have 2 signings at safety come free agency. I think Chauncey will be one. I think Justin Simmons is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle. I think it's almost 100% that it's going to happen. The connections are just way too close right now, and I feel like at this point, it's almost like pretty much done at this point. I feel like Andrew Van Ginkel, I feel like Justin Simmons is almost a lock. Chauncey is not a lock, but I feel like, you know, because of he's cost effective because he was out almost the whole entire year. You know, he got into the playoffs, you know, he played. But, you know, when a guy's hurt for that long, the money is definitely going to go down. So I think he is cost effective. You know, Xavier McKinney, we'll see what happens with him, where he signs. I heard he's commanding a lot of money. But it really doesn't mean that, you know, these camps are going to pay whatever these players want. Okay. The rumor is regarding the safety position, especially safety and running back, that the markets are going to be way down, that a lot of the safeties, and the safety is a long list of players, okay, and the running back, you know, this is the best running back market we've had in a long time, to be honest. This is a really good free agency for running. If teams need running backs, the market's going to be really affordable for both running back and safety. That is the rumor. That was the news from Diana Rossini the other day. So there's a lot going on here, and you know, we'll see in the coming days what happens, but it should be interesting. Appreciate the super Webfoot. Dave said, would you rather us draft our wide receiver 3 or sign someone in free agency? For me, I feel like if the Eagles have enough patience, and it really depends on what they do. They got those 2 second-round picks. They can get their corner of the future in the first round. I think Ladd McConkey, I think somebody will be available in the second round. You know, we'll see. You know, I feel like they should get another guy, because you'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone, really. You get your number 1 corner, and I think really for this draft with one of your second round picks, someone is going to slide down to the second round. Could be your future, you know, outside receiver with Devontae Smith, depending if A.J. Brown's still going to be here after a couple of years. But you have to think of the future too, but you have to think of this year as well. So do I think Xavier Worthy and Ladd McConkey could be a number 1 in Philadelphia? I feel like we already have that speed guy with Devontae Smith. You don't want 2 similar size receivers, you know, starting for the future. I feel like they need a bigger receiver later on. I think Ladd McConkey would be good just for this year. I think Xavier Worthy would be good for just this year, you know, if that's where they want to go. I feel like they need to get, you know, Mitchell, or they go out and get Neighbors. I don't know. I mean, there's plenty of other guys they can get that have a little bit more size. You know, if you're just talking about this year and just plugging somebody in at wide receiver 3, they have a huge chance to do it. I'm not really a big fan. Besides Calvin Ridley, that had over 1,000 yards last year, I mean, that's out of our price range at this point. If Calvin Ridley didn't have the best season, we all know that Calvin Ridley was supposed to be a Philadelphia Eagle before A.J. Brown was. That was the first trade that was supposed to happen. It never happened because of all the gambling situation that happened with Calvin Ridley, which made him suspended. The Falcons contacted the Eagles and say, hey, don't go after him because he's probably going to get suspended for the whole year, which they didn't have to do. So much respect to the Falcons for that. And we wouldn't have A.J. Brown at this point. So a lot going on. Tommy says, Tiki, take your New York Giant respect for Saquon and kick rocks. He's coming to Philly. Get over it. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't get, you're acting as if, like, what has Saquon done in New York? And it's not on Saquon. Like, look what the pieces you put around. Look at these free agencies. Look at what you've tried to do. You've been through a few head coaches since he's been in the league already, between Joe Judge and, you know, a couple others. I don't know how many two head coaches since he's been here. I guess I'm trying to remember who else besides Joe Judge. The car salesman. So he's been through like 3 head coaches since he's been here, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're not big in free agency. They're not big on getting big time talent. I mean, wide receiver is one of their biggest problems, and they still don't address it. Now, apparently there's room now they need a quarterback now because, you know, they can get one of the best receivers coming out of this draft, but they probably can't even do that. Because, you know, now Danny Dimes has a big contract over his head. I don't Tiki needs to chill the fuck out. Like, I don't know what you think this team has done for Saquon to actually give a shit, to be honest. That's just me, though. You know? Slick with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. Said, what about Luke McCaffrey for wide receiver 3? Yeah, that'd be another one that would be pretty damn good. I mean, look, if you're just trying to get a wide receiver 3 for this year and that's all you want, and maybe you want to keep him at wide receiver 3 even after A.J. Brown leaves in a couple of years and get another guy, then I guess that's what you'll do. If they got one of these guys, like, just to plug in at wide receiver 3 for the rest of their career, you know, then that's perfectly fine. I think when they get to the Philadelphia Eagles, if they draft a Lad McConkey, Luke McCaffrey, something like that, then you can, like, cross-train them to where if they need to come in as an outside guy, then, you know, they'll do that. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, like, we'll see where free agency will designate what they're doing in the draft. That will be the number one thing right now. You know, I think the top free agent positions they need to go after is safety, linebacker, running back, and maybe a guard. Other than that, I don't know if they go after anything else. So if they do sign a wide receiver 3 in free agency, say goodbye to receiver in the draft, okay? If they sign a guard, they could still draft offensive linemen anyway because they still need more. You know what I mean? So we'll see if they sign a veteran guard in free agency. And safety has been just one of the biggest positions. Thank God the Eagles have some cap space, north of $47 million, since they didn't designate Avonte Maddox with a 7.1 release, designate a June 1st post-June release, which I don't know why they're even trying to welcome him back at this point. Why they don't have him as a post-June release to get more money? I mean, you would have already had over $50 million in cap space. The HaasonReddick stuff is still going on too, so we'll see. Appreciate the super, by the way. Randy says Saquon running behind a stout O-line is deadly. It is, dude. It is. Me and Philly have been the first ones to talk about the Saquon stuff, okay? Before anybody else even tried even talking about it. We've came to the conclusion that Saquon could be the dark horse type signing for the Philadelphia Eagles, and it seems like a lot more people are starting to agree with it now, or at least start to be on board with it. The one thing with me is that if I want something, I'll announce it, whether it sounds stupid. You know, I've talked about, you know, drafting a receiver in the first round. I've had fights with 1 million people over it, so it happens. It's just ideas at the end of the day, so, you know, we'll see. I think Saquon will be like the 3rd best back in the league. He'll be a top 5 back if he's with the Philadelphia Eagles, no doubt. Sean Glenn says, should wish him well wherever he goes, but Evan Hayer's got to go negative towards Saquon. So he says Barkley behind the O-line with multiple weapons will give him space he's never had. No, I mean, when's there been times where he's not getting tackled or even touched in the backfield? Like, seriously, you know, that's just been like man, like imagine like Saquon getting to the second level, like running between the tackles, getting to the second level, and him just doing a lot more on his own. You know, been kind of crazy. Webfoot Barkley back to Pennsylvania. Mango says, Joey, yo, what's going on? Mango says, yo, Joey, I'm sitting on balcony smoking a cigar, drinking wine, and listening to you, man, feeling blessed. Go Eagles. Dude, good. That's what I do. That's what I do in the summertime, dude. I usually do the cigar. I don't drink wine. I'm not really a big wine drinker. I'm a fruity drinker. I'm not really a beer drinker either, to be honest with you. But good day of relaxing, man. We're getting prepared. We're getting ready. Slick, what's going on, man? Thank you for the super, man. Very generous of you. So what about getting John Runyon Jr. for right guard? I mean, it's a possibility. Look, I don't know if they'll jump into the draft. Like, I think they're still going to draft an offensive lineman between the first 3 picks, between the first and the 2 second-round picks. I think they will get an offensive lineman. You know, we'll see what happens. They have that 3rd-round pick as well. Got to trust Jeff Stoutland in the process, because Jeff Stoutland is the offensive line coach, the run game coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'd give it more time. I think they have a chance on signing a plug-in type vet that's not going to get paid a shit ton of money to go into free agency, so we'll see. Let's see here. Leon says the most obvious is Justin Simmons. He has a connection with Fangio and knows the system. I'm sick of people saying he's old. He's only 30 years old. A lot of safeties playing well. No, I totally get that. When I talked about trading for Justin Simmons, I didn't like it because I don't want to give up a pick for him if he's just going to be a rental for a year. Like, I just didn't want to rent him for a year. Justin Simmons, as a free agent, already playing at a all-pro level right now, coming to the Eagles, can play for a few years, no doubt. Okay, still playing at a high level. The connection between Fangio and Simmons is off the charts. Justin Simmons said some really good things in this past Pro Bowl about Vic Fangio, and it wouldn't shock me. And the reports are already coming out that Justin Simmons is already on the Eagles' radar right now. So I think Justin Simmons is already a Philadelphia Eagle at this point. There's a high probability. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it already sounds like it's going to happen really soon. And I don't mind him. Like, look, as long as he's playing at a high level, he's doing a good job. Like, you know what? That's great. You know, just fantastic. Well, appreciate all the support, man, by the way. All the support in the chat. Ron says Saquon is generational. Ron says Saquon is a generational talent. I think he would be the best back in the NFL with Philly. Who would I put in front of him? I mean, obviously you're going to put McCaffrey in front of him. DeAndre Swift, I think, would still be a top 5 back if used correctly. And I don't know if he's going to do that anywhere else. It really depends where these running backs are playing. You know what I mean? We know that a lot of these guys, we have known Saquon has the talent, okay? His family are Eagle fans, okay? His family are diehard Eagle fans. They got to be Saquon fans, but they're Eagle fans. You guys remember when he was drafted, like, whole family's Eagle fans. This would only like spice up, where he would want to go. Really depends on what he wants to get paid. These running backs are going to give it a shot to get over $10 million. It's probably not going to happen. You know what I mean? So when it comes to like, who to put in front of him, I think really the only guy realistically to put in front of him, maybe, because I think we could put them neck and neck. Maybe he's in front. I think, obviously Christian McCaffrey, that's where it's probably most realistic at this point. You know what I mean? Chubb says, I have a feeling that Saquon would suck if he comes here. I mean, I don't know why people are so afraid of Saquon to come here. Don't talk about injuries, because at the end of the day, like, Swift was injured before he got here too. He missed 5 games last year. Like we said, if DeAndre Swift, I don't get what the big turn off with Saquon is. Is it the injuries? Is it just like he's had, are you looking at too many of his seasons saying it's all on him 100%? Because it's really not. He's been part of one of the most dysfunctional organizations in a while. And, that's just the way it's going right now. Yang Gang 22 says, Stalin you. Hell yeah, dude. We got AO with the super chat. What's going on, my brother? He says, really? Like, baby, he says, might have spelled that wrong, or John Runyon JR also like JC Jackson and Shipley out of Clemson, or running back from Texas too with Saquon. That running back, that Braylon Allen dude, Jesus Christ, that guy is gonna. I wonder where he's gonna go. You know what I mean? So I think I think offensive line will get drafted. I'm interested to see if they actually draft a running back on day 3. To see if they go a different direction at running back. So if they end up getting Saquon or re-sign Swift, right, I think they go into the draft on day 3 and get the opposite of what they have. So if they end up getting more of a dual threat type guy, maybe they get a bigger back. If they have a bigger back, maybe a power, more balanced back, they'll get more of a dual threat candidate that will fit behind this offensive line, no doubt. Will fit in this offense with Kellen Moore and what he wants going forward. So it should be really interesting what they do here. So definitely a lot going on, no doubt. A lot of choices to make here. So Mayo says, honestly, Joey, people are scared of DeMarco Murray and they're afraid of signing another running back. Well, you know what, dude? Like, he was put into the wrong system. Chip Kelly's scheme was over the players. Unfortunately, he got rid of too many good players on this team. It didn't help this team at all. DeMarco Murray was a north and south runner. He didn't run, they used him more east and west. And they just never run him north and south. And when they started doing that, it was just too late. The DeMarco Murray thing was a totally different. You can't compare if Chip Kelly was still the coach, like right now, God knows what this team would have looked like. But I wouldn't compare those two times. We need to get over that. I mean, for someone to even talk about that, I don't know. I have never even thought about, because of this situation with, you're not getting an ex-Cowboy, you're getting an ex-Giant, and the Giants haven't done nothing with him. You know what I mean? He's had 1.5 good years with the Giants, really, realistically. So, Wayne HP said, what up, Joey? When I watched your video about Joe Simmons, you mentioned about Fangio, but don't forget, Christian Parker could be an X factor for Simmons to come to Philly. Oh, because Christian Parker was the corners coach with... Oh, hey. Christian Parker, that's actually interesting. So Christian Parker was the... Am I right, though? Christian Parker was the secondary coach, was the corners coach, right? I know he plays safety, but obviously he's been around him as well for Denver, I'm thinking. So that's interesting. Thomas, I really want Saquon, but I'd prioritize McKinney over him. Yeah, I mean, look, I get it. We want a younger safety at 24, 25 walking in here on a 4-year deal. You want to bring some more youth, not just for this year, but for the future. Can Justin Simmons play for a few more years? A couple more years, sure. I think so. So I get both sides because I'm at both sides with it too. I'm kind of caught in the middle. If they sign Justin Simmons, I'll be very happy about it. But there's not a big time gap. I mean, when you have someone that's 24 years old, you have a bigger time gap there. So Tugo says, it's because Swift has never used properly, and I wish we would see him utilized properly is why I'm not keen on Barkley. No, I get it. We'll see if he comes back. We'll see if Swift is trying to get more money and waits out too long, because if the Eagles feel like he's taking way too long, they can't get him to Philadelphia as fast as they possibly can, and Barkley is ready to sign, I just have a feeling. Now, the reports came out today, which I'm not shocked over, okay? I'm not shocked over it. Last year, this is before Kellen Moore was even a part of this whole entire thing. Okay, last year, this must be a Howie Roseman type signing, because it seems like this isn't on Kellen Moore. It seems like Howie wants Saquon Barkley a lot more than we expected. Last year, before Saquon was tagged, the Eagles apparently had a lot of interest in him last year. Okay, so that's so is this more of does Kellen Moore might want him, no doubt, but I think this is more like Howie Roseman has wanted Saquon Barkley in this backfield. I think that's a part of it too. So I think that's pretty awesome. So he says, "Do Eagles get a solid? Do Eagles get a solid, if not spectacular, cheap right guard with steam being still raw?" Yeah, I think they go after like a plug-in type mid-tier guy at guard, like a veteran that can come in and fill in for a couple years, if that's the way they kind of want to go. I don't think they're spending crazy amount of money, but with an offensive line that you have right now, you're not getting. You now have to go, if you didn't have a left tackle, or you didn't have a center right now, or you didn't have a right tackle, then yeah, you'd have to go out and spend money, because you can't just plug in those positions and hopefully have faith. This is a right guard position, which, Tyler Steen is a little bit too raw. Not saying he's bad. It's just he doesn't have enough time under his belt. The offseason program needs to change, and hopefully that does change later on. We'll see. Webfoot says, "I want the Toledo quarterback." Oh, Quinion Mitchell, man. Yeah, he might be the first corner taken, man. It could happen. Bryce says, "I think the fans are turned off by Saquon because they're attached to Swift, and him being from Philly is on his hometown team makes them want to bring him back more. Me personally, I want Barkley." And that's perfectly fine, dude. I mean, both guys, are Philly grown. At least, Saquon played for Penn State, family's Eagle fans, so I get there's connections with both of these players and their families. So I hope they re-sign Swift. Who would I rather have? I think the more balanced player. I feel like you need to get two guys, because I don't think Swift could do everything. Swift's pass protection's not great. Picking up blitzes ain't great. But when it comes to the passing game, comes to just running with the football in general, I think Swift is a perfect fit here. And if they want to sign him and deal with that, that's perfectly fine, and I have no issue with it. But with Barkley, it's a different story, because he could do everything. Everything. Depends on price, what these guys are looking for, so we'll see. Whitesby says, yeah, he was a DB for Denver. Yeah, I totally forgot about Christian Parker. Totally forgot. I was really upset when they couldn't land that guy from Seattle, that corner coach from Seattle, that, Hurts was going to bring, the defensive line coach was going to bring him with him. He went back to Seattle. Look what he turned, Weatherspoon into. He's turned 5 Pro Bowl corners in the last 3 years. 5 guys in the secondary to Pro Bowls. So when he left, I was like, man, it sucks. But, getting Christian Parker is great, because, that worked with Vic Fangio as well. So, there's always connections with some of these coaching, these guys that are coaching. So we'll see. Bloodshot says, "Hey Joe, what's going on, man?" Which means, and he's developed Simmons and rest of secondary. Do I see Surtain trade? Yeah, that one I think is going to be way too far. I think we're going over way too much. Justin Simmons is fine. Trading for Surtain, I think people need to stop with that. It's going to cost way too much, and you got to pay him. You know what I mean? You have to go get. I feel like they have to draft corner in the first round this year, because then you're gonna have to pay a hefty. You're gonna have to pay a hefty fee this year. He's gonna have to get paid, man. That's just the way it goes. Like, would you want to pay someone 4 or 5 years down the road, or gonna want to pay? Or I don't know. Are you gonna have to pay somebody right now within another year? Like, that's the difference. If you sign a cornerback, your number one guy, your future number one guy, have him pair up with Slay for the year. Then once Slay moves, then he'll become the number one guy. So your first 3 picks have to be on point starting day one. We got Ian with the super chat. What's going on, man? He says, why don't you like Jamal Adams? Because he's old, man. He's old. He's injury prone. It's just, no. You know how many safeties are on the market right now? Like, with Jamal Adams, like, it'd be a waste of time. This would be like a bandage type signing. It wouldn't work well with me. I would absolutely hate that signing. No doubt. Absolutely hate it. The Wall Streaming Network says, hey, Joey, if it came down to it, who would you rather have, Barkley, Henry, or Swift? I'd rather have Barkley and Swift over Henry. I'd rather have Swift and Henry over Barkley. but I'd rather have Barkley because he's more of an all-around better player than Swift when it comes down to what he could do on the field. Okay? Because Swift cannot pass protect. Other than that, if you're not going to use him for that, then get Swift here 100%. Swift and Barkley are very different. Swift is a lot more lighter on his feet. He's a little bit more athletic, but it's very tough because they're both very different. I think all around potential, I think Barkley might be the better fit for this offense from what Kellen Moore wants to do. Swift, I think, is a really good fit in Philadelphia right now under Kellen Moore, but he's got like one weakness, and doesn't have the big, a bigger lower body size like Barkley. Okay, if I was to do Swift and Henry, sure, Swift by himself, fine. Barkley over Swift, fine. But if they sign Swift by himself with no Derrick Henry and no Barkley, I'm perfectly fine with that too, man. Bring DeAndre Swift back to Philadelphia. That's what I've wanted. If Barkley's going to hold out and he's going to say, I'm waiting for the best price and I want to get paid this, and the Eagles say, you know what, screw this, we're just going to go try to sign Swift on a cheaper deal. So I think that's where we're going with it. It's very tough. John Snoozer, what up, Joey? Are we leaning toward Barkley or will Swift take a discount? Who would you take? Yeah, so I as I just said this just before, I think who will take the smaller discount? I don't know. I honestly have no idea. We won't find out until guys are signed. Barkley's going to try to get over $10 million. This is DeAndre Swift's first year as a Pro Bowler, first year as a 1,000-yard rusher. You know what I mean? So he's going to try to get as much as he possibly can, and they're both going to find out that no teams are going to pay what they want. That's the truth. They're not going to get paid what they want. Tyler says, screw Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Go out and pay Xavier McKinney. He's about to solidify himself as a top 5 safety in the league. And I get why you're saying this, man. I get it. There's this love affair with Chauncey Gardner that he was here as a great leader and played so well for 1 year with the Eagles. And, and we kind of lost that. No Sidney Brown playing safety with the torn ACL. You have Reed Blankenship, which I think could be beaten if they sign both two safeties. I feel like they could sign Chauncey and they could sign Xavier McKinney. Because Chauncey, I think at the end of the day, how much is he actually going to get coming off an injury where he barely even played this past year? You know what I mean? Ty says, free agent defensive ends are decent. Have you taken a look? Yeah, so obviously with some guys, like I think like Leonard Floyd is one guy. Chase Young is another guy. Who else is out there besides who else is out there? That guy from originally Josh Allen was one guy I wanted, and then he ended up getting tagged because I was like kind of watching that one for a while. I forgot who else is available. Who is the guy that apparently from the Jets radio or Giants radio that I think Bryce Huff was another guy that the Eagles have a lot of interest in? Oh, Bryce Hall? Yeah, I said Bryce Huff. Bryce Hall, someone just said it literally as I was talking about it. Bryce Hall. That's another one that's, I think, very high. Apparently, there's rumors on that from New York radio. They talked about there's inside rumors that the Eagles have. Is it Bryce Hall or Bryce Huff? Which one is it? I thought it was Bryce Huff. That's what I thought. But I think that's a cost-effective type move that they might make for a guy like that. Bryce Hall. Bryce Huff is his name. He's real nice, Joey. One guy saying Bryce Hall, one guy saying Bryce Huff. Huff. Okay. I thought it was Huff. So there's been rumors on that whole thing. Seth Joyner talking about Christian Wilkins getting signed to a big deal because he liked Big Fangio in Miami. because Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter are barely getting paid right now. They're still on rookie contracts. So you have an extension now to where you could sign a big time guy like that on your defensive line. They got to put money into edge rusher. I mean, they have to. Okay, even if you re-sign HaasonReddick, you have Josh Sweat on the last year of his contract. And if you're paying Reddick, you're not paying Josh Sweat after this year. Nolan Smith has done nothing so far, not his fault, but has done nothing and probably will fit more like an outside linebacker this year. But, we'll see what happens. Yeah, compensatory picks are up as of right now. The Eagles, I'll announce this again. So the compensatory picks are out for the Eagles, for every team now. Comp picks are 3rd round, number 97, 2 5ths, number 170, 171, and a 6th, number 210. So the Eagles have a 3rd, a 1, 2 2s, a 3rd, 4 5th round picks. I think a 6th and a 7th, a 6 and 2 7ths. 2 6 and 1 7th. I forgot what the late one was, but that's what it is right now. We got super chat for bloody shot. What's going on, dudes? The Eagles heading on this draft and free agency is key to getting back on track for this season going forward. Oh yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, you've got a new coaching staff now. You have another 2 new coordinators now. Hopefully, they're going to put our players in good position now. And they got to hit this free agency. If they do overly so well in free agency, man, we still have a whole draft. We're going to be saying this. After free agency, we're going to be saying, man, we still have a whole draft to go through. I mean, that's going to be great. It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for it. I think it's going to be one of the most exciting things ever. But we'll see, though. I'm excited. We got a super chat from Slick, man. Thank you so much, dude. He says, I feel like we will trade Josh Sweat for picks. Damn. Do you guys think Josh Sweat fits the system? I think Reddick obviously fits the system more than Josh Sweat does, because Josh Sweat really has never... I mean, they've done it with him like the last couple of years. I don't think he's been good at it. That's what I'm saying. You have to sign guys that you think that will fit the scheme. Okay, not that they do fit the scheme, that you think that could change their ways of adapting to a scheme. But when you force a player that that just can't do it, it's just, you're just setting up some of your players for failure at this point. With a guy like Josh Sweat, that would be interesting. He would have a lot of interest. I mean, he would have a shit ton of interest, no doubt. Rogue says, do you like receiver Worthy or Rice in the draft? I mean, yeah, Rice is great. Worthy is fantastic. I mean, he's got all the speed in the world, but are you looking for a guy for the future? You're looking for a guy just for this year. You know what I mean? Like, if you're looking for Xavier Worthy to just play in wide receiver 3 this year, he's an outside guy, but they put, there's people saying that he's more of a one-trick pony, that he can't do much of anything else. He's not the best route runner, that he's just all speed, and that's really it. So I think there's other choices out there for the Eagles, because Xavier Worthy will probably go pretty damn early. We'll see, though. No, it's this year. No, those comp picks are for this year. The 2 5ths, the 6th, and the 3rd, those are for this year, dude. This is that was a report that came out today, because this is the time where now the NFL definitely rewards the comp picks to all the teams now. So you get a 3rd round comp pick at 197, you get 2 5ths, 170, 171, and you get a 6th rounder. So no, that's for this year, bro. So the Eagles have 9 selections in this draft this year. 9. 4 5th round picks, 2 2nd rounders, and you still got your 1st intact at 22. Jerome Baker would be one of my top signings, Rob. Jerome Baker would be one of my tops. Andrew Van Ginkel, Jerome Baker, the 2 Miami Dolphins linebackers. Jerome Baker is a better coverage guy than Van Ginkel. Van Ginkel can get pressure on quarterbacks. They could bring both of those fucking dudes in. It wouldn't shock me. Jerome Baker, I'm saying his name wrong, and Jerome Baker is welcome to return to Miami. They just couldn't rework they didn't want to I guess he didn't want his Jerome Baker didn't want his contract restructured. Apparently that was the whole thing with him. When it's Ladd McConkey, wide receiver. Oh yeah, dude, Ladd McConkey. I'm that's actually my next that's actually on my next video as of for my membership videos for going over some of the draft prospects. I've been a fan of McConkey the past couple months. His combine was great. He doesn't just have all speed. He's got route running capability. I mean, he could stop on a dime, turn direction. I think as a wide receiver 3, McConkey would be almost unstoppable with this offense. I don't know if he's first round worthy because of his size. I don't think that's going to be the case coming in, but we'll see what happens going forward. But yeah, the Eagles got Ladd McConkey. Yeah, that'd be fantastic. I wouldn't have an issue with that at all. So we'll see down the road what happens with that. If you want to check out some of the extra draft content, we do it every day. So there's already 3 or 4 videos up right now. Join and the pinned comment. It's in the link in the live chat as well. Become a member for as little as $2 a month. And you'll get some extra content. It's there if you want it. Definitely check it out. If you're seeing videos that are members only that are coming up, is because of that. I get copyrighted for a lot of these videos because I show a lot of video that I'm not supposed to show for copyrighted material. So that's what that's there for. So Nate says, is there a name attached to those picks? I was alluding to BJ and Desai comps. Names? No, these are just no. I mean, you're looking for coaching staff comps? No. These comps are literally just for players. Rogue said, if that's the case, how about we go get Brandon Rice, Jerry Rice's son, for 3rd receiver spot who could take over Brown? Interesting. So Samuel DeJohn says Ravens just pay someone the bag. All right, so what happened today? So I haven't been on. I didn't have internet for a bit today. I know a couple guys. I know the Lions re-signed Abdullah. The Raiders signed Abdullah, I'm guessing. So another deal. Ravens signed franchise Justin Madubuike. Oh yeah. So this guy. So now that's a lot of money. Okay, so. I can't say his name. They end up tagging Justin Madubuike, whatever his name is, to a 4-year $98 million deal. $75.5 million total, $53.5 million at signing. Holy motherfucking God, dude. So the 75 is the total deal. No. 75.5 guaranteed, bro. That's just fucking insane. 75.5 guaranteed. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, you're lucky right now that Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis ain't a fucking free agent right now. You're lucky that they're not in the last year of their deals right now. Oh man, that's crazy. Rogue says, "How about we trade Gainwell for a 3rd or 4th round pick and get a running back with the pick?" Yeah, they could. They're not gonna get him. Robert says, I don't know. Deshaun Jackson recommended Eagles to draft Worthy. Yeah, I know. That's of course that's his guy, dude. Valduk says cornerback Ennis Rakestraw 2nd round option. Ennis Rakestraw from Missouri, I think. Dude, like, he would fit Fangio's system. He's a really good zone guy. Ennis Rakestraw in the 2nd round, he's physical, sheds blocks, plays with just pushback, man. Would fit in Philadelphia so well. Ennis Rakestraw is definitely one of my top picks going to the 2nd round if they don't get a corner in the 1st. I would definitely keep eyes on him going forward. Rakestraw's a badass name. Rakestraw's the name of a champion. Chris, I love Ladd, but he'll be gone by mid-30s. He could. He might just get to the early second round. He might just get there. I think he'll be a high second rounder. 24.5 per year. That's so yeah, it's a step up from last year. It's a few million more than last year. What was last year's market like? 20, 21 last year? I could be wrong. Marisol said, who that dude to me, and it's not slow. He was dealing with an injury. Please do your research before talking. Yeah, I think he ran like a 4.6 in the 40. It wasn't great, but I can't, like I said, like I can't take too much out of these 40 times when it comes to these corners. It just depends. Like some of the the agility drills and stuff like that I like to do. I like to watch. But I didn't know he had an injury at all. I didn't even know, to be honest. All I saw was his 40 wasn't great, but like I said, I think as a player he would be fine. Yeah, Christian Wilkins is gonna get paid, dude. I was if Cox leaves or retires, DT becomes an option to sign Wilkins. Yeah, well because of this deal now, Wilkins is gonna get. I don't know if the Eagles will be all in. That's why like guys can re-sign their own players pretty easily. So and the Madubuike guy, he was tagged already. So they were already working on a long-term deal with him. So to make sure he wasn't gonna jump into free agency. Okay, I just imagine how big the rivalry would become with the 49ers if the Eagles drafted Jerry Rice's son. That would be epic, I think. It'd be pretty sweet. Ty says, hey, Joey, you think they're going to keep the brotherly shove in rotation? Do you think the NFL is going to ban it? I feel like they're going to keep it. I don't really see anything that's showing me they're going to get rid of it. If they do, then you really have to get your shit right at running back, and you got to get this offensive line back to where it should be. So, I don't think it's going to be a big deal if everyone thinks. If they take it away, it's not going to make me upset or anything. K Guns Official says, by the way, I'm pretty sure the Eagles have 10 picks, 1 first, 2 seconds, 1 third, 1 fourth. Oh no, 1 third, 4 fifths. I don't think they have they don't have a 4th round pick. They don't have a 4th rounder. I think they have a third compensatory. They have no. I don't think they have a 4th. From what I read, they have no 4th rounder. So, like, does this mean we'll get Wilkins because of how much money DT are getting? Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like the Eagles can't talk to Wilkins until the tampering period, so they can't do anything until the 11th. So since this deal with the Ravens is already done, it's going to be a lot tougher. Yeah, it's going to be a lot tougher. They can still do it. It's not that they can't do it. It's like, do they want to go in that direction with the amount of holes you have at... Really, it just depends what they do at safety and linebacker. If they want to garnish a move like that, I still think you need edge rusher badly, Challenges on free agency going to go crazy or be overpaid. Oh yeah, dude, that's what free agency is. No player gets paid what they're worth. it's totally, that's what the whole point is. Like, this is a time right now where the Eagles are going to say, okay, what are we not going to get in this draft? What are we not really aiming in this draft? They obviously have a plan in motion. By this time of the year, every team has a plan who they want to go after in free agency and what they want to do. Cyrus, if we don't sign a running back, we got to get Braylon Allen out of Wisconsin. He's only 20 years old and dominated the comeback. Yeah, Braylon Allen is going to be a fucking beast. He's probably one of the biggest, shifty, big bruiser backs I've ever seen. I did a reaction video to Braylon Allen, and holy shit, was I just, man. This is like Derrick Henry with like more elusiveness. I mean, it's insane. It's crazy. Yeah, no, that's off the table now. So like I said, we need to sign safeties first, since they will be on the lower price. Yeah, running backs and safeties are rumored to be on the lower price this year. The market's not going to be huge at both of those positions, which is great because that's what the Eagles need this year. So I'm pretty happy about that. Mike Ronald says, Eagles have Isaiah Rodgers. Don't sleep on him. We don't need first round corner. Depends what they want to do with him. I think Isaiah Rodgers might take over because he at the inside corner spot because he has a little bit more twitch than a lot of the other corners that we have. So I wouldn't sleep on Isaiah Rodgers moving to the inside with Avonte Maddox, depending on if they're bringing him back. But they got to have they got to have a safety net behind him. You have Zach McPherson coming off an ACL as well. Two guys that are just mainly hurt. So got to give it more time, got to give it a chance. I don't know how I don't think they think Keely Ringo's ready yet. Eli Ricks is definitely not ready yet. And I think they have the best depth at corner right now for competition and for the roster in general and for the future of what they can become. But I still feel like they need to get a top talent that can start day one. If Bradbury is going to be cut, extended and cut to kind of get rid of that dead cap, kind of spread it out a little bit, we'll see. We got Emmett Blacks with the super chat. What's going on, my friend? He says, I was looking, if we get rid of Slay and Bradbury next year, we save $12 million next year. But dude, like I don't know if they save money next year. Maybe they do. This year, if you get rid of Slay this year, it's bad. It's like 8 million dead cap. I think it's like 8. I think it's over 10. I have to hold on. All right, so we're looking at so Slay right now, if you cut him, oh yeah, it's no. Next year I'm not sure. Next year I have to look at like next year. All right, let's look at 25. So if you cut Slay right now, if you cut him pre-June right now, the Eagles will be in the whole $33 million. It's definitely not happening. If you cut Bradbury right now, it's 15. You're 15 million in the hole right now, which isn't horrible. But they would have to do you extend Bradbury's contract for a couple years, and then they'll have single digit dead cap to just eat up, which is fine. Like that contract isn't bad if you spread it out. 15 million is not bad. Yes. 25. Let's do 25, right? So 25 for Slay, right? 2025, if you cut Slay post June, it's about even. You save 6.3 and your debt is like 7.4, so you really don't get anything for that. So yeah, I don't think you do much of anything with that, to be honest. So I don't think you save much money there. You don't save any money there. So I don't think that's even right. So I just want to check that real quick just to make sure. But I think Slay's done after this year. I think Bradbury gets cut. That's what we're hoping. I don't see Fangio keeping him on this roster. So we'll see. Appreciate the super chat, by the way, Emmett. K-Gun says, I didn't say that they had a 4th round instead of 4 5th rounders. Oh, because of the Bucks pick 2 comp picks and 5th rounder from the Rager trade. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I thought you meant they had a 4th rounder. Yeah, though they don't have a 4th rounder. 4 5th rounders, yes. So they got 4 comp picks. 2 5ths, a 3rd, and a 6th. That's what they got. 9 picks. 1. Let's see. 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 5, 5, 5. Oh, 6, 7. Yeah, so they do have 10. All right, so they do have 10 picks. All right, so I'm stupid. All right, let's just say that. So they do have 10 picks. That would make sense. 10 picks. Yeah, Javon Bullard would be another one. I know the Eagles have met up with him as well. Was he from Georgia, right? Versatility type guy. Man, it says we push Kelsey into retirement. Yeah. K-Gun says, because remember everyone was laughing at how we got a better trade for Rager than the Cowboys got for Amari Cooper. Well, yeah, it's true. It's true. They got rid of Amari Cooper for what? Like a sixth or something? Like it was a really late round pick. So he says Braylon Allen 6'3", 242 could be a cheaper power back option. Don says Van Ginkel is the name of the future Super Bowl champion. Yeah, we can cut. Yeah, we have to extend Bradbury. We can't. If they want to cut him right now, it's going to cost double-digit dead money. But if they extend his contract, there's a way of doing it. If they extend him a couple years and then cut him, that $15 million or whatever it was will get spread out into another 3 years, and the Eagles will be eating that up easily. So they can get out of it easily. Yeah, the Reddick deal's got to get done, like, as soon as possible. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, it's got to get done. Whether they're going to trade him. If they're trading him, okay, the rumor is right now they're trying to get a top second-round pick. So, imagine if they have 3 second-round picks in this draft. There's no way you're sitting there in the second round. Like, you're moving up in this fucking draft. There's no excuse for it. So we'll see. I mean, I heard a third and a fifth for Reddick. I'm like, dude, if they get a third and a fifth, I'm gonna be pissed off. You know, there's nothing for what he's worth right now. It makes absolutely no sense for what he's worth. For me, at least, I think it makes no sense. So, you know, we'll see. Priz Gamers has just showed up. How did we get 10 picks? We have 9. Yeah, so they have a first. They got a first. They got 2 seconds. They have a third. They have 1, 2, 3, 4 fifth rounders. A 6th and a 7th. That's 10 picks, right? That's 10? I thought it was 9, but I think it is 10. I don't know. I'm going out of my mind because they don't have a 4th round pick. TW the Super Chat, thank you so much, man. It says Kelsey's speech was so long he didn't cure cancer or final loss civilization. He retiring from playing a game for $1 million. Yeah, dude, it was tough. That was I knew that was gonna be a long you know, that's gonna be a long retirement speech. You know what I mean? You know? It's just something to a point where like that's a dude, he's been here his whole career, like, you know, it felt like maybe it was the wrong time for him to retire at this point, you know, so I get it. It means a lot to him, man. That's just what it comes down to, you know. Appreciate the super chat, man. Bum Gainwell, yeah, I would say it would be not too bad for him to go. Guys, Joey, who do you want with our first round pick? I mean, at this point, like, I would love an edge rusher. I would love, you know, Latu. I would love Chop Robinson. I would love one of the, you know, the Bama corners and Terrion Arnold and Kool-Aid McKinstry. Like, it really depends on what they do in this draft. What I want in this draft is going to make no sense if, you know, they're going to have to hit on what they hit in free agency. It's going to designate what they do. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, either or, I would take. Ron, what's going on, man? Said, yo, this cornerback out of Iowa, Cooper DeJean, this white boy is smooth. I'm excited for that highlight reaction, Joey. I tell you what, he's like defensive version of CMC. Yeah, I mean, the problem is we're going to see what he does in his pro day before the draft. He did not, I think he was dealing with an injury, did not test at the combine at all, but he's a versatile player. He can play multiple positions. But we'll see. I'm hearing a lot of good things. I'm already hearing that he's the only out of 4 out of 5 right now visits with the Eagles. Okay, unofficially, Cooper DeJean is one of those visits right now. K-Gun says it's 2-6 because one was comp and the other was in a weird Titans trade that says we get either our own 6 or Titans 6, whichever better. Titans get the lower pick. Okay. Yeah, there are 2 6th-round picks. Reddick would be a draft day trade. That'd be interesting. Real Sports says there's also a possibility they just don't extend Reddick or trade him, and he just plays out his contract. We got a 3rd-round comp pick. Yeah, well, dude, like the problem of keeping him, okay. The problem of keeping Reddick on the contract right now is that he's $20 million against the cap. That's why I feel like they have to do something with him. There's no way they're keeping him on a $20 million cap hit this year. It's easy just to say he'll play out his contract. The Eagles don't have to do anything. They could just say, no, you're going to have to play out the rest of your year. You're going to have to play out your last year of your deal. I don't think that's the case. Yeah, will they get a comp pick for that? Sure, but it's a lot of money that it's against the cap this year. Are they going to keep him on that number? That's the question. $20 million is a lot to keep on a number right now. Because if they trade Reddick, I'm going to be pissed. I would love a late 1st-round pick for Reddick, dude. Like, I feel like that's where they have to go with it, but they're not going to get that. You know? Sorry, so we're set up good in this draft. When HP says, and we got Falcon 6th-round pick. All right, so 3 5th-rounders, not 4. They got 3 5th-rounders. I thought they had 4 for some weird reason. 3 5th-round picks, so that would be 9 picks. So they should have 9 picks then. If I had it. David Adams, just pay Reddick, man. He's worth it. Yeah, we might be kicking ourselves in the ass later on in the deal, but pass rushers are just too hard to find, especially ones that get double-digit sack. I know, dude. Trust me, I get it. I know they're gonna pay him, but if he's trying to get 25 plus, they're not gonna give it to him. If they get 20 to 22, yeah, sure. If CD John is there at 22, how he needs to run up the card himself, could be. I think they will sign 2 safeties, and I think getting 2 linebackers could be, a high price and a mid-tier type guy. Robertson, what about Jerome Baker? Yeah, Jerome Baker is probably a really big target for the Eagles. Vic Fangio and Jerome Baker was part of Miami, so I think he's big. He's really, really good coverage guy. Van Ginkel's more of a going after the quarterback type guy. So we'll see. I think both of those, one of those Miami linebackers are coming to Philly. I already kind of know. Big guy from Texas Longhorns. IDF says, who do you like in this draft at the linebacker position? I mean, the one I feel like they could get that I think would be Edgar Cooper. I think he'll be, at 22. He could move down a little bit further. I feel like he fits the scheme really well. That'd be like my number 1 guy, to be honest. Dallas, actually, no. If it's Edgar Cooper, they could go. God, they can go any direction, really. They could draft one in the 2nd round, maybe. Some of these guys might move down. Real A Sports says, yeah, the $20 million is hard. We are in a tight situation, but you have to remember Howie is always thinking about the future. We still have it extend Dickerson, Smitty, then the Hurts cap starts coming. But the Hurts cap isn't that bad either, dude. Between last season to this season, Hurts' cap is like $19 million combined from last season to this season. So it's not much this year. Titans get our 5th and 6th for Byard, who we cut. Oh, so that's why. All right. Yeah, it says 10 on. I'm only reading what I'm reading, and I'm going by the picks that what it's saying. So it is 8 picks now. Trade Sweat and draft Latou to replace him, and later Smith to replace Reddick. I mean, that could be another thing that they could do. If they keep HaasonReddick and if they get rid of Sweat, they might have to go into the first pick of the draft and move up for one of the top edge guys. Yeah, I know the cap hits is fine this year. I'm not worried about that. Hurt's biggest cap hit is like on his contract going forward is like the last year, like 30 million or something, which the Eagles won't even hit that anyway because they'll probably extend him by that point. Death Row South, what's going on, man? Appreciate the super chats. It's all about Vic Fangio's scheme. Reddick doesn't fit the scheme because he can't drop back in coverage. I need JJ Watt numbers if we pay Reddick. Oh yeah, that's the thing. Like, are we getting the most out of Reddick if he gets paid that amount of money? Being in that's he's done it. He's been an outside linebacker before. He did it with Arizona. Then they started to use him more as an edge rusher. Last year of his deal with Arizona, then went to Carolina and almost, they used him almost, the opposite way there. So if you pay Reddick, are you going to get the most? Are you going to get the most out of him? Like, if he gets traded, will I get mad? Sure. But like, what are they replacing him with? Are they replacing him with more scheme fit type guys? You can't replace double digit sacks, but I think that has to get out of our minds. Like, as a whole, you sacrifice HaasonReddick getting traded for more picks and more flexibility with Howie Roseman, what he could bring in for this team. You know what I mean? You extend Reddick, you get 11. If you trade him, you probably get more money. It's probably, I don't know what the trade value is, compensation wise, but they're probably gonna get more money out of it. More to the cap. You'll probably be over close to $60 million with this move. Regardless if he's here or not, you're going to be close to that number. Woogie says, draft offensive guys, sign veteran defenders. Yeah, that's true. I just think money is going to start to be tight soon. As if we get rid of Reddick, Chop Robinson is a damn good prospect. Yeah. I feel like they have to. If they get rid of Reddick or Sweat, I think they have to go into the first round. If they get rid of Reddick, I feel like they have to go into the first round and get a top edge rusher. They're gonna have to. I mean, I don't think they have a choice, to be honest. Brandon Graham is coming back. Brandon Graham is coming back on a 1-year deal. That is 100%. It's just not enough. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Chris. Chris says if Reddick gets traded, Chopper Latu has to be our first round pick. And as far as this shit is taking way too long. Like, I feel like you're going into free agency next week and this fucking Reddick deal is not even done yet. And if he gets traded, and depending on what they get back, they get another second round pick out of Reddick. They get like a second and a fifth or something like that. They got to move up. They got to move up. There's no doubt. John says, Joey, is it true that Worthy looked up to Deshaun? That is true. That is 100% true. That is the real reason. So I said, we got to get the secondary back together again, especially for Fangio's scheme to work. We got Nolan Smith, who's coming up, and there are good players in this late round that you could draft for the edge. Yeah, but you need a bona fide guy on the edge, dude. You need someone that's gonna fucking go in there, that is gonna be a contributor like day one. You can't wait. You can't wait for the third day, dude. You can't wait last day of the draft and draft a guy that's gonna give you anything for the scheme. It's way too quick, man. Rogue said there was a rumor Jim Harbaugh wanted to trade his edge rushers. Maybe we could get him in the first round pick and get Joey Bosa. Is that possible? Yeah, maybe. Gotta pay these guys though. That's the problem. Like, you draft the guy, you draft Latu, you draft Chop Robinson. I mean, you don't have to pay them for 4 to 5 years. That's a done deal. You get rid of Reddick, you're going Latu, you're going Chop Robinson. I mean, simple as that. That's what you're doing. Mingo says, y'all gotta stop. Just talk. He was drafted as an outside linebacker. He's better as an edge. Absolutely, just say he can't cover. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, like I think people gotta stop saying like he can't cover. It's not that he can't. It's just that like you're not putting your players in good position with the coaching staff. Under those coaching staff guy, yeah, he didn't look great, but Fangio will have a system. Fangio has his own system. You know, if you're not blitzing and you're not running stunts for your defensive line, you're not doing things to at least try to get pressure. I mean, look, at the end of the day, like Fangio's defensive lines hit home. Third in pressures last year. You know. So we'll see what happens, but we got Iron Mike 462. What's going on, Iron Mike? Appreciate you joining the camper tier, man. All the other extra draft content that is out. Appreciate you supporting the channel as well. Thank you so much, man. Much love, dude. It means a whole lot. Definitely check out some of the draft content. Definitely become a member if you guys haven't for the lowest tiers. Become the lowest tier. Get all the extra content. Appreciate it, Iron Mike. Try the second round at the latest for edge rusher, even if we end up keeping Reddick and Sweat. Yeah, they could get another guy. I feel like I think they'll get, a rotational guy, a rotational guy, at least in free agency. That's not going to be too expensive, That throws Sal with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says, and with the offense, I need a bigger receiver at number 3 or give me a tight end set. No more speed guys at number 3. And I feel like they have to go after a bigger guy, not even for that, but for the future as well. God forbid, like AJ Brown's not going to be here, which I don't think he will. I don't think 2 guys are going to get signed. I don't think AJ Brown gets signed either. So they go get another guy later on. So I think, that might happen. I think you need the bigger receiver with speed. That Donnie Mitchell from Texas would be perfect. Not only as a number 3, but a guy that could go in as maybe a number 2 or at least another number 1 for the Eagles, in the future. So we'll see. Chris says, if we move off Reddick, we got to draft edge at 22. Yeah. If Reddick is gone, they have to go edge in the first round. They might have to, and they might have to move up again with their second round picks. John said, I want Kool-Aid so bad. I think the Eagles have a chance. Really, this Reddick thing needs to we need to find out what's going on with this Reddick thing. That's the number one thing we're trying to figure out right now. That's going to really, I think the Reddick trade is going to affect what they do in the draft. It's going to affect what they do the rest of free agency. AJ Brown has 4 years on his contract. I think AJ Brown only has this year and next year, and that's it. I think we only have him for 2 more years. That's it. Two more years left. So he's either a free agent after 25 or 26, right? He's legitimate. Iron Mike says after deal is done, he'll get tagged and then be gone. There's a Versace comment says we'll be back. I'm gonna go check out Brandon Doros real quick. I'll come back. I appreciate it so much, man. 3 years left, 2 years left, 2 left. Yeah. Yeah, but he signed. Yeah, but he signed. He was still on his rookie contract when we attained him in the draft. He was still on his rookie deal that year. So he was cheap. He was cheap the first year we got him. We had him in 22. Rogue said, if we are running a 3-4 defense, would Jalen Carter be on the outside edge? Essentially, yes. Yes, he would. So, yeah, I mean, it's the Reddick thing needs to like get done. Like, I don't know why it's taking. I don't know why it's taking so long. But hopefully they get this thing done. It's gonna be gonna be the difference maker going forward. Because if it's taking this long, they re-sign him, then I don't know. I mean, how long? Like, imagine if like Reddick's still not signed through like after all of next week, he's still not signed. Like, if this goes on for more than another week, then he's getting traded. Like, I don't know why nothing's getting done. You know, cannot take this long. There's no excuse for it. It cannot take this long at all. Hold on one second. I need to get something real quick. All right. I didn't eat my protein bar today, so sorry for being rude. Deathrow South with the super chat. Thank you so much, man. He says Isaiah Simmons would be great safety. He played in college. He would be Cam Chancellor. You're talking about who the Giants traded for last year? Because he's a free agent. That was a good trade for them, but they just, obviously they suck defensively. Mike said if AJ plays out his current contract, will be a $26 million cap hit in 25, $41 million cap hit in 26 after his 4 years is up, and a $10 million cap hit in 27. Damn. So this is, so what's this year's cap? What's his cap hit for this year for 24? So it's probably not expensive. So they start to go up a lot. I thought 22 was part of his rookie deal. So that was still his last year of his rookie deal, wasn't it? I thought it was. His cap hit was like $8-9 million. It wasn't much in 22. I don't think it was. Go on, Jack. Obviously, no need to rush the Reddick deal, especially if there's a real trade interest. It's either he's taking a long time because he's trying to get the right number, or he's taking a long time because the Eagles are trading him. They haven't got the right compensation for him yet. Big Chris says Barkley and Eckler would be nice. I don't know if they get both of them. If they just, the one thing I don't want to happen is them getting Austin Eckler, because that I would be pissed. I said people forget negotiating has to happen. Reddick stuff doesn't happen overnight. No, I mean it's been going on for a bit though. It's been going on for a little while though. It hasn't been too long, but it's been going on for a bit. Henry Swift would be great. Be a dream. K Guns Official TV said 12.4 with 24 cap hit from AJ. That's not bad. That's good. From what he's giving us, from what he's given us, that's a good. That's fine. You know what I mean? From what his production, I mean, 12.4 is a good number. AO says, everyone out on Buda Baker now? I don't know. Is he... I didn't read he was a free agent. Is he still on contract right now? I thought he got I thought he got an extension type, like, / pay increase last year. Don says, Isaiah Rodgers enthusiastic to be here. Dude made a Twitter video with a white... Oh, yeah, he's been doing that He's been doing that for months. He's been putting out these videos with his custom, like, white Eagles helmet. It's been pretty cool. Moore knows how to use Eckler. Yeah, but why can't he use anybody else? Why can't he use anybody else? Why is it because he's been with Eckler? It's the only running back that he can use of the skill set? He can't use Barkley. He can't use Swift. Monty, the free agent market will most likely dictate what happens with Reddick. He wants a big contract. We have to see what others are getting in this position. That's true. John says, Joey, I would love to if we could get Xavier Worthy. Be great. Tony Holmes says, as long as it goes, lower the price. Yeah, that is true. That is true. The longer this Reddick thing goes on for, I think there's two things. The longer this thing goes on with HaasonReddick, the lower the price it's going to go, and the more likely he will be traded. It goes both ways. So, K-Gun says, could you imagine if Henry and Barkley both on the Eagles? I don't even see what would happen, but holy, that would be scary. I hope we sign Barkley, Swift, or Henry. River Vaz comments, I want Henry over anybody. That's automatic Super Bowl. I wouldn't say automatic. I mean, Henry can only do like a couple things. You know, like Henry doesn't have the, you know, Henry's just different. I'd rather have Barkley than Henry. I would like Henry and Swift. Henry's just not enough by himself. They still need another back. Dang says Buda Baker has an option with Arizona that either has accepted so far, so technically he's a free agent right now. Oh, okay. I thought he was still on contract because I didn't see his name. I didn't see his name in the. I read yesterday. I read all the free agents, the safety free agents yesterday on the list. I didn't see his name there. So John Jones says, yeah, Joey Worthy won't be there at 22. Yeah, he might not be there. Tyler Newman from Minnesota. Another guy did pretty well. This is the Kind breakfast protein. There's like two little bars. It's a peanut butter, dark chocolate, banana. So it's pretty good. I'm starving. I'm probably gonna go pick up some food because I'm starving. After the stream, I'm definitely gonna go fill the hole in my face because that's where I'm going. I believe you're correct. I looked it up. AJ Brown not free agent until the year 2027. Stuff says they trade him for just a second round pick. I'll be pissed, dude. That's probably what's gonna happen, man. I can see a second and a fifth, a second, we'll see. I don't know what you're expecting to get. You're not going to get a first round pick. You might just get a second round pick alone. Nothing of what, you're not going to get the right just getting a second round pick in general is not the right compensation. You're not getting the right compensation. Kadeem Hackett says linebacker isn't healthy in free agency. Big need for our offense. For our defense, sorry. Oh no, I mean I think there's plenty of guys out there. I don't think it's All right, Mike says we won't sign any running back in undrafted free agent pool. Kenny G, number one running back forever. Yeah, I fucking hope not, dude. I really hope not. I will cut my wrist if that happens. Guy says oatmeal, blueberry, cinnamon, bananas is damn good bread. Oh yeah, dude. I'm gonna be buying this powder, this protein, not protein, but it's it's essential vitamins. It's a drink it's like a meal substitute that you drink every day. It's kind of expensive. It's like $70 for a bag of it, but it's a little pricey. But you drink it once a day, and it gives you everything. It's pretty much what would an all-in-one vitamin would give you every day, but it's all in a drink, but even a lot more stuff that you would never get. Dad says the other Texas running back, wide receiver Donnie Mitchell is going to go higher than Worthy. More than likely, the draft is loaded. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who's going to go first from Texas. That's going to be interesting. Donnie Mitchell would fit really well in Philadelphia as a wide receiver 3 and for the future. He would probably be my favorite guy to draft, to be honest. Don says, Donis Mitch. Dad says, I already interviewed. Is looking at his lips for Worthy. Yeah, probably. I wouldn't doubt it. Weapon X, there's a spider on your ceiling? Yeah. Is that a callback? You know, I had an old video from a while back where, like, I was streaming. My streaming stuff was over on that side, and I had a spider that dropped right on my keyboard, like right in front of me. It literally dropped right in front of me, and I killed it on camera. It was one of those streams years ago. John said, I want tackle from Oklahoma, Guyton. Yeah, he's going to have a lot of interest from a lot of teams. A lot of guys want him. K-Gun said, the best move the Eagles have made the past 4 years, even with all the great moves they've made, was cutting Barnett. That dude was the type of make your team lose games. That's true. Sicilian pizza sounds good, man. John says, Worthy ain't going to KC. As it says, any new news on Barkley? There's nothing really, any new news on Barkley as of today. No, everything's pretty much been the same since yesterday. But all the news outlets, First Take, all these news outlets are talking about it, saying that, you know, is Barkley to Philly? Well, does that make them dangerous? And there's a big thing going on with him now. You know, Tiki Barber came out with a video today, like, if you go to Philadelphia, no one's gonna respect you. Like, dude, shut the fuck up. You like, like, you're acting like Barkley's won 3 Super Bowls with the Giants going to a division rival. Like, you need to fucking chill out, dude. You need to fucking chill out. Like, it's ridiculous, dude. Bobs, I heard another reason besides money not to re-sign Swift. If they will receive a comp pick if he signs elsewhere in free agency. I mean, is that the case? Because if that's the case, you know they're going to let him go. If they let Swift walk and they sign Barkley, that's a comp pick. Jesus Christ, dude. There's a big chance, man. Let's go. What's going on, Jim? What's going on, man? John says Lane can mentor Guyton like Jason Peters was Lane's mentor. I agree with that. Our Mike just got tooth pulled. Stop talking about food. I'm on snack pack pudding over here. That sucks. That sucks. K-Gun said, I want to see Barkley and Green. I want to see how Bad Dog, Entertain, and Capizzle react. They won't be happy. Especially if he's successful. They won't be happy. Swift is better than Barkley. Yeah, I mean, athletically, he probably is. As an all-around running back, it just depends, because Swift's biggest weakness is pass protection, picking up blitzes, and his blocking is not great. That's been like the only thing with him that hasn't been good. I probably believe that. Has Saquon played a full season? Not in a while. He's been banged up. Rogue said, Kenny Cheese, the only running back I will go out on the field and scream to get rid of him. If he is he is overrated. Then he says, if Bart comes to Philly, puts up 1,500 yards and wins the Super Bowl, do you think he cares? No, he ain't going to give a shit. He want to put himself in a good position, at least try to get some more guaranteed money, which they're not going to get full guaranteed contracts. It's not going to happen. But he goes to Philadelphia and puts up those numbers. Yeah. Rome says Saquon isn't as reliable as Josh Jacobs. If we gotta get spend money on Jacobs, he could do it all. Plus, I'm biased. I want him out of the draft. Yeah, I mean, I like Josh Jacobs. I don't know where Josh is gonna go. Josh Jacobs is pretty much the number one back, pretty much on the market. Everyone thinks Saquon, Swift. You know. We'll see. Stuff said if you let of a Reddick, you'll have to bring in 2 pass rushers. We need another as. Oh yeah, I mean you might have to, if you get rid of Reddick, they might have to get Chop Robinson or fucking Latu. It might be the case, man. What's going on now? Hold on. Okay, so there's a few bits of news here. Running back Derrick Henry is unlikely to return to the Tennessee Titans after a historic 8-year run per sources. Though the door is not completely closed, Henry would leave Tennessee with 9,502 yards, 90 touchdowns, 2 rushing titles, Offensive Player of the Year, and 4 Pro Bowls. Regardless of what happens with HaasonReddick, with Eagles have an interesting decision with Josh Sweat. Sweat, 27, is going to the final season of contract extension. He signed in 21. He recorded a disappointing 6.5 sacks in 23, his lowest output since 2020. They could look to extend him while his value is low, or they could look to trade release him. Another factor is Sweat might want to bet on himself and play on a contract year. Yeah, I mean... It's you're not losing Reddick and Sweat. Okay, you're gonna lose one of these guys if anything happens. But if Sweat wants to play with the Eagles one more year and bet on himself for another contract, that's fine, because he's a free agent after this year. You pay Reddick, you're not paying Josh Sweat. It's Josh Sweat's just gonna leave. He's just gonna walk into free agency. So we'll see what happens, man. I don't seriously. Aiden says, how about Jared Verse from Florida? Dude is a bull. Gotta check him out. Bobby Mercy, screw Tiki. The Giants losing Barkley is on them for never putting a decent O-line in front. Yeah, I mean, and they need a quarterback. Like, they're in a situation now where if they actually had a quarterback, in the building right now, they would go after a number 1 receiver in this draft, but they can't now because they can't. They have to get a quarterback now. Yeah, Huff from the Jets is going to be interesting. A lot of rumors regarding him going to the Philadelphia Eagles. What if Brock Bowers drops to us? I don't know if they take him. I think there's way too much they need right now. I don't know if they take a guy like that. Hey guys, says all you need is offense as a third wide receiver and running back situation, so Eagles can go very heavy on defense if they just sign Swift, Barkley, or Henry. Yeah, I mean they don't really need much. They need yeah. So it's really guard, running back, and wide receiver 3. I mean that's really all it is. Yeah, it's a 3-4 scheme. Yeah. AJ Dillon shouldn't be that expensive. Like, I like AJ Dillon. He's a nice balance between being a power guy and a receiving back, Very productive with the Packers last year. Rogue says, bro, I think if we get Barkley, it's going to be great. Giant fans are going to hate us more. We draft Jerry Rice's son. The 49ers will hate us more. And Dallas always hates us, so it's all good. Rick Decker says, extend Reddick, let's go. Extra cap space and keep a dog. Yeah. I mean, they extend Reddick, they save $11 million. Then you're going to be close to $60 million in cap space, man. I mean, you're done. Rico says, who do you think will be our backup quarterback? I honestly have no idea. It will be McKee. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure. Howie is calculating a lot of cornbread at this point, as 500 would say. Calculating the calculations. Yeah. He says, yeah, I was talking to Philly 5, and we both think it's likely we go enter O-line in the first round, especially after Kelsey retiring and aging Lane Johnson. Yeah, you know, the thing is they don't need to go that early for an offensive lineman because you're not getting the number one guard in the first round. You're not redshirting a fucking offensive lineman this year. Like, it makes no sense to get one in the first round. Get a guy that literally could sit for a year that will get a lot of, we'll get some playing time. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, they're gonna draft a replacement. I'm not wasting a first round pick to be redshirted. Not doing it. But I think you could draft an insurance policy in the second round of this draft if that's where you want to go. They always draft an offensive lineman within the first 3 picks, first 3 rounds. I don't see why not. First 3 picks, essentially, that's where they should go. One of them is going to be a high draft pick. I can't believe Ertz went to Washington. I don't think he had interest. He signed really early. So if he signed early to a team that had, fucking Washington's got $93 million in cap space. He likes Cliff Kingsbury. He likes him a lot. And, thought it was a match made in heaven. So I don't know. I don't think he has any interest. I don't think teams even like him at all. If you sign this early, that means you want to try to get a starting job as fast as possible, because if Ertz waits past free agency and past the draft to sign to a team, he won't even have a starting job. Yeah, Lane's got a couple more years. Brad said we need O-line and defense. Offense can get in free agency. I agree. Yeah, but offense, you got to put some resources in defense. You can't just leave defense totally empty. You're not using free agency for just offense. It's definitely not. They're gonna do a mix of both, no doubt. Yeah, a D-line, I could see them going D-line in the first round, Guns. I could see that happening. Like, if they lose, whether it's Reddick or I don't know. If they lose one of those 2 guys, they have to go after Chop Robinson or Latu. I think it's got to happen. I think it's like the number one thing that has to happen. That's just me, though. So. All right, Mike, would you trade Reddick in 2 seconds for Burns, this year and 1 next year? No. No. For 1 edge rusher, you want to trade a double-digit sack guy and 2 second-round picks for 1 fucking guy? No. Never. Yeah, so that's insane. Top 5 pass rusher and 2 seconds for Burns. Hell no. John says Adonai Mitchell, I would love him, and Kelly Green. Yeah, I think he'd be a perfect fit here, honestly. I think he'd be great in Philadelphia, for Philadelphia. If I said we have a lot of holes on our roster, but luckily we have a ton of cap space. Yeah, we do. I mean, that's why they have to take advantage of what they have right now, because they could free up even more. They can even free up more. They can free up more money right now. What happened? I don't think Burns is a free agent. I think he's got 1 more year. He's got 1 more year left. I don't think he's a free agent at all. I don't think so. I think he's got 1 more. I think this is the last year of his deal. 4 picks in the top 100, man. Alex L. Looney Bin says Jadavian Sanders is worth looking in the 2nd round. And Burns got tagged. Yeah, I forgot he got tagged. So if they're tagging him, then they're gonna either try to tag and trade, or they're gonna try to extend him. So Woogie says a lot of DBs and receivers in this draft think we're moving up. I think we're 100% moving up. Worse, I thought Burns received a tag. Yeah, but you could tag and trade, and you could still tag regardless. Yeah, he's not no free agent. No. Could be K Gun says could be more than 4 picks in the top 100 regarding what we do with Reddick and Sweat. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't know what they're gonna do, man. I don't know what they're gonna fucking do. Reddick says we have to get a cornerback in the first round. Slay is 34 and Bradbury's overpriced. Toast Ringo may be good, but we can't assume. Yeah, I mean, that's where things get tough. If Reddick stays and they sign like a mid-round guy, if Reddick stays and they keep Sweat, okay, if they extend Reddick, they keep Sweat, get a rotational guy like Chase Young or something, or Leonard Floyd or something like that, okay? Go into the draft and go get your corner in the first. If they get rid of Reddick, then they have no choice but to go get a top edge rusher in this draft. And corner, they're going to have to figure it out. Grams are Sarah, so we do have a little space for trading one of them and drafting a new defensive end in the first one of the draft. Why not Swift and Barkley? They're not going to put too much into it. No, probably not. Keep Reddick, get rid of Nick. Sure. Reagan says, how can we go pay another corner when we were paying $10 million already? Because you're going to get rid of one. That's why. Because drafting a corner in the first round is going to be cheaper than a second contract with that corner. That's why it's going to be cheaper. It's going to be a lot cheaper. Get an edge rusher, please. Dad says Kenny Moore for cornerback too. Yeah, Kenny Moore would be interesting. You know, what is he, like 28 years old? One of these, he's all pro at nickel. Probably one of the best nickel corners in the league right now. You know? King says, give me Willie Gay and Jordan Brooks, and I'll be all right. So you're looking to get Willie Gay and Jordan Brooks. Jordan Brooks from Seattle and Willie Gay from KC. Wednesday says, still funny when Fletch called out Devo after Super Bowl loss. It was great, dude. I'm so glad he did that. So glad he did that. But yeah, we're going to go over another couple minutes. If we have 200 people in the chat, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. Like up this stream like crazy. We're going to have another stream tomorrow. Make sure to like it up, subscribe, and check out the pinned comment. Check out the live chat for the memberships, for the extra draft content as well. So definitely check all that stuff out. And yeah, we're gonna keep this thing going. We still have, we don't have much time left. It's the 8th right now. We have 3 days until the tampering period begins, which people will get signed on the 11th. The 13th is when it's really official by 4 p.m. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, but it should be fun. So we'll go over another couple questions and then we'll get on out. It's already like, I was supposed to do this stream at fucking 3 o'clock. I was supposed to do the stream between 11 and 1 o'clock this morning. My internet was off like all day. Like, I don't know what happened today. Internet was off. There was stuff going on. So it didn't really go too well. But hopefully, we'll be all right for tomorrow, because today was just a total disaster. But we'll have videos out tomorrow. We'll have a membership video out tomorrow and all that great stuff. So I say we still could sign John Runyon for right guard. Yeah, how much is he going to want? Well, Tone got fired? Ooh, you mean Tone, like Tone? From Jakib? They canceled Rob and Tone Sports Take. Heard they didn't want to pay them. Oh, man. That fucking blows. So the family, the super chat says Eagles need at least 1 DT, 3 linebackers from free agency, and draft playing 3-4 scheme. Cunningham can stay. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of off the Cunningham wagon and kind of want to move forward with a few different things. I guess that's what everybody's talking about. That kind of sucks. for that to happen.
They're just not go-getters. They don't sign good talent. They don't.
See if there's anything else here.
I think High is one of the best receivers. They just don't use him enough. Like, you know what I mean? It's kind of crazy. Appreciate so much, man. We got what for the super chat? What's going on, dude? Starting super chat. Young stud at free safety. Yeah, I mean, look. Unfortunately.
Dude, that guy better chill, dude.
I think they might have two signings at safety. I think Chauncey will be one. Justin Simmons is going to be a Philadelphia.
Well, he says you sold on Trotter. I'll be an immediate impact. Will he beat him in? I don't know. Like, you have to add more. You have to add more in front of Trotter Jr. coming here. Like, Trotter, don't just go into the draft and draft Trotter and act like you're good at linebacker. Like, they got to add a couple bodies. So.
It's almost like pretty much done at this point. I feel like Justin Simmons is almost a lock. Chauncey is not, but I feel like because of his.
But, we'll see. A lot going on. A lot of different combinations. We have a few days, so this Reddick thing could probably clear up hopefully soon. We'll see what happens, but it should be interesting. But all right, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you put a like on the stream. It does help out a lot. Check out the pinned comment for memberships and all that great stuff. We'll have a membership video out tomorrow. We'll have a video out tomorrow. A lot of other stuff out tomorrow. We'll have another stream, hopefully early if my internet doesn't fuck up. So you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys on the next one. Chicks, what up, follow, peace out, guys. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.